in CBT News headquarters right here, about to go on. We got KBZ, Vanessa, and the team. And we got the star right there. How you doing?
Hello, everyone.
I know. Sorry. I'm a newbie.
This place, isn't that awesome?
It's amazing.
Yeah. Hey, Justin, how you doing? We are here in ATL with Jim Fitzpatrick on the show. This is CBT News, the absolute most prestigious, amazing news agency for the entire retail automotive industry. And we're about to go in today, right, sir?
That's exactly right. Stay tuned to CBT News for the full interview. You're going to love what you see with these two. These guys are setting the world on fire, especially the automotive world.
Everybody, this is SVB, and a place to be is CBT News. We have a special guest today. Actually, we're a guest of his, and we did a takeover with Jim Fitzpatrick of CBT News. How you doing, my friend?
I've lost all control. This is incredible. Well, thank you for having me on your podcast.
Did you think, or did you realize, you and Bridget realized that CBT News would have evolved to what it's become now when you first thought of it?
It's a great question. So no, we didn't. We started it actually as a little bit of a passion project. We're on board. This is exactly what we need. You know, automotive news, and I might add, because a lot of people kind of compared us early on to automotive news, but they do a phenomenal job. But when you look at their media kit, 81% of their readers and their consumers of their news are actually OEM and suppliers. There's only about 18 or 19% that are actually dealers. We kind of flip that upside down and we say all the content that we produce really needs to feed the dealer community.
Yes. I want to pivot and redirect here.
Sure.
Tell us about Bridget.
Oh, she is my wife.
That's what I was going
She's
for.
my
I
wife.
wanted to ask this question.
Yes,
too.
no.
Like, what's it like working together?
Well, you guys know.
That's why we're asking. That's why we're asking.
Okay, good question. Good question.
Another...
She is my wife, and if you had asked me 13 years ago, I would have said, "There's no way in hell I'm working with my wife. There's no way, right? It's not going to work." I'm a personality, and she's very methodical, and she puts a lot of thought into things. Same thing, right? And she's trying to hold on. It's like trying to hold on to Tigger by the tail, and it's like, oh my God, he's running all over the place. But I will tell you that the relationship that we have has been really the special sauce in CBT News. You know, she runs the operations. She's like the brains of it all. You know, in fact, many times we'll be getting ready in the morning. I say, I've got a great idea. She'll go, wait a minute. Can we just focus on the last 14 great ideas that you've had, okay? Because I'm still trying to play catch up.
So
there you go, and you need that.
sometimes he just wants to be full gas, and I'm like, wait, let's take a step back. Let's consider our options. Let's do some planning and preparation. However, if it was just me in that style, I would probably be stuck in planning and preparation mode forever.
That's right.
Right? So sometimes you do need a little bit of that gas
100%.
and pump to get you going.
What is your superpower as it relates to CBT? Is it the interviewing? Because you said Bridget does operations. What are your guys' superpowers?
I think it is the interviewing. Although Bridget does a phenomenal job on interviewing, she's now got a show on we have another network called ASBN, America's Small Business Network, where we help entrepreneurs and small business owners doing the same kind of thing as CBT News, but now focused on small businesses. But probably my superpower is being able to interview these individuals, but from the car. I put my car dealer hat on. I was 25 years in the business. Nobody's going to throw something at me in an interview that I can't go, whoa, wait a minute. What you just said does not work. It doesn't wash. So
have you ever had anybody change your paradigm on something?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And I will say, because I've been out of the industry on the front lines for 20 years, the industry has changed. Now, because of my seat here at CBT News, I've stayed on top of that change, And some of the things that you guys shared with me in previous interviews, I'm like, wow, that's a kind of a cool thing that you're doing, I didn't know that could be done. So I'm also staying on top of the industry that way.
Can you give our audience some advice on if they are going to do a podcast or they're going to do a Zoom interview, or if they've got the benefit to actually be on TV in a local station?
Yeah, sure.
How would you advise them to prep and be able to maximize that opportunity?
My media training came from watching so much media. And I'd be like, okay, I'd like the way this particular guy interviews. I haven't had any professional media training, but after 3,000 interviews in the last 12 years, here's what I will tell you. Go back and watch everything you do, because that sometimes can be the best training. If you're a podcaster, listen to your podcast. Say, oh my God, I didn't mean to say that, and I didn't realize I use my hands so freaking much, in these interviews.
So would you say that sometimes silence is okay?
Silence is magic. There's no question about it. Sometimes, and I've got to learn this, and my viewers know this, if you can just shut up for another 15 seconds, okay? the person starts to then think about what they just said and they go even deeper, okay?
How do you handle a person you're interviewing that is either shy or nervous or not a good interviewer?
Yeah, that happens. So sometimes what I'll do is I'll let the interview go for 15 minutes. They start to relax. I say, okay, let's do this. Okay, that was great. Now that you know me, now that I know you, let's start over. Okay, and they're like, oh my God, thank you so much. Because the first 15 minutes I was so nervous.
Yeah. What's your single most favorite interview you did?
I really enjoyed my time with Mike Jackson, president of AutoNation.
Okay.
I thought he told it like it was. I think he's a very, very bright individual, very bright about the automotive industry, and he connected with me.
So let's fast forward 12 months from now. What are you doing here at CBT?
Yeah, we want to make a bigger effort to provide kind of self-help, if you will, information and content to the industry. So when somebody comes to CBT News, not only do they get their news and information and also watch the shows, but there's always something there to go, wow, this is a really good and motivation piece that I'm gonna focus on. It's hard to stay pumped and motivated. Yeah. I don't care if you're the dealer, the GM, the salesperson, the lot attendant, whatever it might be. If you're around other people in the dealership business, get the hell away from them if they're bringing that toxicity to you. The minds of the people in the dealership that determine whether or not it's going to be a success. Would you agree? I mean,
1,000%.
Yeah.
If all we do is try to develop people conventionally with the road to the sale and product knowledge, that's like going to the gym and just working out your biceps and having chicken legs.
That's right.
If we want to have the most productivity out of somebody, it's got to be mind, body, and soul.
That's
it's
right.
more than just word tracks. Yeah. It's a holistic approach.
That's
Karen,
right.
Can you speak on
Yeah,
that?
I mean, Franklin Covey, the 7 Habit, right?
Yeah.
Sharpen the saw.
Yep.
It's taking care of the most important asset that you possess, which is yourself.
That's right.
Right, and a lot of people neglect that, especially in the auto industry.
I know.
In the stores, because they're just focused on, I need to sell a lot of cars, I need to make a lot of money.
Yep.
And they're ordering takeout.
That's right.
They're not working out.
That's right.
They're not spending time with friends and family. So they're putting all of these things on the back burner, and at the end of the day, then they might have poor health. They might have poor relationships.
Right.
They may, just have a lot of bad experiences that they could prevent from trying to have more balance.
Success leaves clues, and there's a reason that there's 45 million copies of the 7 Habits in print.
Yeah,
there's a reason almost 80% of all Fortune 100 and Fortune 500 corporations put their executives through the Signature Series or the Foundation Series of the curriculum, because you're correct. If you just are on one path and you're not feeding the rest, like Karen is saying as far as sharpen the saw, you're not going to have a very productive human being.
Yeah.
Tell us, as we go into 2025, what do you and CBT News feel is buzzing? What are the topics that are really buzzing or important in our industry right now?
Right. EV and AI, right? I mean, that's last few years it was, it's all going in on AI. And we saw the transformation. It's all going in on AI. OEMs were changing it. They're changing their lineup of cars and everybody's getting excited about it. And now all of a sudden that's on the downslide. It's like, all right, we got to get that under control. The consumers just aren't there on the EV situation. And now, of course, AI, everything's got to be AI. Every single thing in the dealership, what we're talking about, how does it impact a dealer's bottom line? We also have a lot of shows, quite honestly, on the franchise structure.
So if you were able to categorize by percentage, the CBT News' focus, is it more like on the skill path, or is it more of awareness?
I think it's probably a combination of both. I think it's probably a 50-50 split on that. We try to open up the discussions on all of these topics, but then at the end of the day, it does get back to the skill set and the mindset of the dealers that run their dealerships, and we also try to bring people together.
Sometimes I feel, because I'm so passionate about this industry, because it's what it's done for me and my family.
Sure,
I love this industry.
You built a hell of a company.
I sometimes feel like we can't get out of our own way sometimes. Like I think that by 2025, we shouldn't have the same antiquated conversations about calling people back or about basic stuff. How can dealers and OEMs and vendors, how do we get to just complete these basics?
I know. We'd have dealers that say, the marketing's not working. You got to get in here. You got to meet with me. The marketing's not working. And I'd say, great, no problem. I'll be there tomorrow. Before we get started, and I would play the last 4 phone calls that came into their showroom that we recorded through our software. I never made it to the 4th call. The dealer would say, shut that off. I can't listen to this. Mr. Dealer, when when the phone call is answered like that, if it's even answered, is that an internal problem or is that a marketing problem? Okay? If you want to fix the hole in the boat, I'm all about it, okay? But please don't tell me it's because of some other external reason like marketing that prevents your sales department from picking up the damn phone. We still are challenged in that with, showing dealers that, you gotta fix, I think you said it earlier, keep the main thing basically, but you gotta fix the dealership operation. If that team inside that dealership, you haven't won over the hearts and minds and fixed that problem, then you're in trouble.
How do you get a dealer or a GM to hold their people accountable?
So one of the questions I always ask when I would take over a dealership is I would say to the dealer principal, is anybody bulletproof? Can I fire anybody that I need to in order to turn this dealership around? And if the answer was no, you can't, we got a problem. How do you win those people over and hold them accountable? It's very, very difficult, because when you go to the GM and you say, man, this guy is not following, to your point, the yellow brick road, if the answer is anything other than they either get on board or they leave the organization, okay, then you have a problem. So it's a very tough thing. I don't know. I don't know that I have the answer to that directly.
Oh, that was a heck of an answer, though.
It was.
That was definitely You've done this before.
Well, you got to hold the dealer accountable, and until the dealer wants to be held accountable, because it's a partnership. Hey, we know, at Dealer Synergy, we know what we can do. Now, Mr. Dealer, Mrs. Dealer, you're going to partner with us to get this ship headed in the right direction.
Jim, it was an honor to be able to come into your house.
No,
I'm honored to do a takeover.
Yes, absolutely. I'm honored to be on your podcast. It's great.
Absolutely. We really appreciate it. So again, this is Sean B. Bradley and
Karen Bradley.
And we are here at CBT News with Jim Fitzpatrick. And again, thank you so much for your time.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you for having me.
Hey everybody, this is Sean B. Bradley and
Karen Bradley.
And for the record, we just got up super early, flew from Philadelphia to Atlanta to be on CB2 News, and wifey is in comfy clothes. She was all business up, but now she's, in comfy clothes so we could fly, back to Philadelphia. So how was your day and what did you think about today?
It was very cool. It was my first time on the show, so it was very exciting and different, and it was an honor to be on the show.
Listen, shout out to Jim Fitzpatrick and Bridget Fitzpatrick and Vanessa and the entire team. I mean, these people have got it dialed in, and honestly, I'm just really honored that they saw so much value in our Buy a Car music video and invited us to turn around and, come to the studios. They played it live in front of thousands and thousands of automotive professionals, managers, owners, associations, OEMs, vendors, everything. So, honey, you're the star of the video. How did you feel that they saw so much value in Buy a Car that they brought us to Atlanta?
It meant a lot.
Yeah? How cool is that? Isn't that facility beautiful?
Gorgeous. Yeah, it was really big and a lot of areas to kind of chill, relax, and just a really good working environment. You can tell they have a really cool culture there.
Yeah, and then, Sean Bradley had to do the Sean Bradley thing, is that I took over, I straight up deboed the show. I took the studio over, and I'm only kidding. Jim Fitzpatrick was so kind. He allowed me to shoot an episode of the Millionaire Car Salesman podcast at his CBT News studios. How cool was that?
Super cool. Yeah.
I thought it was cool.
He was really cool about it. Sean's like, all right, I'm going to kind of do a little takeover here, and Jim was like, let's go.
Isn't Jim an amazing professional?
He is.
He's super polished. Okay, so KBZ, what's up next? We have Digital Dealer, right? Okay, what are you excited about?
Excited to be able to see a lot of the professionals in the auto industry. I'm excited to be able to see and catch up with some of our clients. I'm excited to see your keynote.
Yeah, I got to tell you, shout out to BombBomb. We're in full partnership with BombBomb, so we're a reseller of BombBomb. So BombBomb's going to be at our booth. They have their own booth, and so they're going to have agents at our booth. We're going to have agents at their booth. Reciprocation. We have a lot going on. I am hosting a keynote with Brad Lee, the CEO and founder of Lightspeed VT, as well as Nelson Lyles, the general manager and managing partner of the Withers Automotive Group, who's a Dealer Magazine cover story. And so we have the keynote. Our daughter Tiana is doing a breakout session on the power of video communication, video email, video text messaging. And then I, Sean B. Bradley, have a breakout session with Cody Carter on how he, sold 1,408 units last year and became the GOAT, the greatest of all time, what have you. So we're exhibiting a 10 by 30 booth. And
so if you're there, make sure to come check us out.
Yeah, make sure you stop by our Dealer Synergy booth, or check out my keynote, or Tiana's session, or mine and Cody's session. And then we have Cox Automotive. I'm hosting the masterclass, a one-day national masterclass for all Vin Solutions clients for free, which is going to be on November 6th in Chicago. And then we're doing NADA, New Orleans, LA speaking, Tiana speaking. We have a 10 by 30 booth. Man, Dealer Synergy is built.
I'm sure something else will come up in between.
Not just that. And then we have our call center. We have our 300-person staff call center in Belize. Okay, CEO, tell us what you think about our call center.
It is awesome.
She said, awesome.
Yeah, no, it's a really good way for dealers that are not sure, like to BDC or not to BDC. Gives them a good opportunity to be able to let people that have been doing it for 26 years.
All right, kiss me. All right, we're gonna fly back to Philadelphia with the kids and the pugs. See you when we see you.